Hello, everyone. I want to first again welcome you to Psychology 255, our spring course together. This section is B1W, and the CRN number for this is 10418. So please be sure that this is the course that you've registered for. There are a few abnormal psychology courses offered this semester at BCC. This just happens to be one. It's an asynchronous course. I'll give you more details about that in this video. But again, just want to confirm that you've registered for this course. So that being said, I am really excited to have a semester with you. This is my really my favorite course to teach at Bristol Community College. I've been teaching at BCC actually for 14 years as of this spring. So it's kind of a nice anniversary, if you will. I have taught other psychology courses, most of them that are offered by the psychology department at BCC. But as I said, this is really my favorite course. Abnormal psychology, I'll say a couple things. One, it really is a good idea if you've taken Psychology 101 previously, or at a minimum took a psychology class in high school, for example, because I think there are a few concepts, theories, etc., that I think there's more of an expectation that you already know, some things that a Psychology 101 would have provided like a good foundation for you. This course, I really view it as more of a sophomore level course, and I say that because this is a course that I believe will transfer to a four-year college, and I think this course, even more than Psychology 101, gives you a better foundation for other upper-level courses like junior and senior level courses if you're planning on taking more psychology courses either at BCC or at a four-year college. I also want to say that whether you're planning on pursuing a career in, say, social or human services or anything that's clinical that's related to psychology, that's more my background is clinical psychology. There's a lot of things that you can learn from this course, and you don't have to be taking it because you want to, become a psychologist or a therapist. I'm a therapist. Or you want to go do research. There's a ton of research that's done in psychology. It's really interesting stuff. You might take this you want to just learn something that's different. You might have a family member or a friend or a group of people that might struggle with mental illness. You yourself might be a person who's living with a mental illness. So it can be a very informative course, regardless of why you've chosen to take it. And as I said, welcome, and I'm really glad that we'll have this semester together. So this video is really meant to just do a little more orientation to the course itself, but also Canvas. So what I have here on the screen for you is the opening page in the modules for the course. Again, this is a completely asynchronous course, meaning that you will do almost all of your work here in the learning platform in Canvas. That's where your assignments, almost all of your assignments are going to be found. That's where you're going to be able to see your grades. That's largely how I'm going to communicate with you, is through Canvas. So again, there is no face-to-face lecture. We do not meet during this course, the 16 weeks we have together. The only time when we could come together, I will offer some Zoom sessions during the semester. They are not for lecture, they're strictly for question and answer. So I will probably early next week send you a Zoom invite. You can jump in to the Zoom invite. Again, it'll be strictly a question and answer. I'm not lecturing, and it's voluntary. So you'll not get a grade or a point for joining the Zoom Q&A. It's really just a chance for you to ask questions, and that's it. So again, there are no face-to-face lectures. There is no class time. Completely asynchronous course. Asynchronous courses are a bit of work. I've taught many of these, but I've also taken courses like this myself for my own training benefit. So again, although it's a course that you're not showing up somewhere to listen to an instructor like me, go through a lecture with you, it's understood that you're going to be hopefully able to kind of pace yourself with regard to the material and organize yourself in a way that you'll be able to get the assignments done that are assigned to you. I'm confident you will. Most students do well with this course, and I also want you to reach out to me at any point if you feel like you are struggling. Again, it's a great course, and I think that you'll really enjoy it. All right, some quick things. So what you're really want to get into, like your first couple days, is I want you to get into this course content section. So there's a video in here, like this video right here. That's more of my talking to you about Canvas, how to navigate it. There's a PDF here called Course Netiquette. I think it's a good idea for you to review that. I want you to learn something about the National Alliance on Mental Illness. These are all important things that I really want you to take a closer look at before you really jump into the week number 1 module. So, and other things that you see here. So you will see also opening on the first day of class, which was January 22nd, you will see the week number 1 module. So from this point on, there will be a module opening every week. Almost every week there'll be a new module opening, with a few exceptions. So pretty much every week we're doing a new chapter together. And there are a few things that will go with that. For example, you'll have my pre-recorded lecture videos. You'll have slide decks available for you to review. There'll be study guides. There will be a chapter quiz for every chapter. So there's, I think I said 11 chapters, so that means 11 chapter quizzes. There's also a discussion board. Probably getting ahead of myself a little. I'll get into the syllabus in a different video for you. But every module is really self-contained, and it's specific to the week on the calendar. There's a little overlap with week 1 and week 2, but as we get moving in the course, like the 3rd week, we're technically getting into the 3rd chapter for the course, which happens to be chapter 5. So you'll see kind of the cadence of how these modules unfold and when. So again, I think getting adjusted to the course and really understanding how I organize it to your benefit, the sooner I think you can kind of settle into it, the better. And again, always reach out to me if you have questions. I will do my best to also monitor a chat feature that's here in Canvas. And of course, you can always call me or text. My phone number is available. I have another place I'm going to show you in a moment where you can go and look for some contact information for me. Okay, so I'm going to open up one thing for you. Just bear with me a moment. I want to go back up here. So this is, bear with me. I want to be sure I'm in the right place. I'll open this up. Here we go. Okay, so this is, you'll find this content in other places in Canvas, but this is really your welcome. So a few things, as I said, 16-week course. We just talked about that a couple of minutes ago. Pretty much all of the course, really, like I said, is really going to be done here in Canvas. It is a fully online course. The only work that you'll do really outside of Canvas will be a course project. There is a research project that is due at the end of the semester. So you'll get more information about that very soon. I will load information into Canvas on a weekly basis. You'll get announcements from me. I'm often sending information out to you. It could be a reminder about an upcoming exam. It could be a reminder that a particular module is getting ready to close and another one's going to open, like clockwork, I will send an announcement to you introducing the new week, and therefore the new module, the new chapter, generally every Saturday. So you'll get an announcement, that type of announcement alone from me every week like clockwork. But you'll get other announcements along the way too. I will have your syllabus here for you to review, but I'm going to do, like I said, a separate video for that. There is a textbook available, and I do want you to purchase the textbook, but you could also rent it. The bookstore should have it available, although I've noticed that I'm not seeing it, but I did request a textbook. And the textbook is called Abnormal Psychology. The author is Hooley, among a couple other people too, but Hooley is a predominant one. And it's the 18th edition of this book, and it was published in 2020. Still a very relevant book. I think it's one of the best books I've used. I just want to say quickly that this particular book, because it's an abnormal psychology course, you really need to learn about different diagnoses. For example, generalized anxiety disorder, bipolar depression 2, schizophrenia, etc. So these are all diagnostic terms. You should also understand the criteria, like what criteria would someone have to meet in order to be diagnosed with, say, a panic disorder. So all of that information is found in something called the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual 5. And the really nice part about this book that I want you to either rent or purchase for our course together really incorporates a lot of the DSM-5. So it's like you're getting two books in one, because I'm not requiring you to purchase a DSM-5. If this was a graduate level course, I would, but I don't want to do that here for you. So again, it's a very good book. I do recommend you're acquiring it because it will be a very good resource for you for the course. As I said, different ways to really get at, I think, for me to be able to measure your performance in the course. So the course project is just, research paper is just one. There are 4 multiple choice true-false exams. They are available here in Canvas, so you'll know in advance when the exam is going to be available, and you'll then know also when the exam is going to time out. Generally, no more than 30 questions. It'll generally, each of those 4 exams will include 3 chapters. So again, exam number 1 will include chapters 1, 3, and 5. We skip chapter 2. So each exam will generally have material from 3 different chapters, and you'll generally have about 30 questions to respond to, and they're only multiple choice or true and false. And you'll also see your score automatically in Canvas, which I think is a really nice feature. You also have chapter quizzes, like I said already in the video. Every chapter generates 1 chapter quiz. I think the chapter quizzes are really an opportunity just to really for you to get more of a sense of how familiar you are with the concepts and the terminology for a particular chapter. They're not really meant to, to be difficult, but I want you to, to get kind of a sense of how up to speed you are with the chapter before you get to the exam. And they are scored, so you will get a score for the chapter quizzes as well. There's also a discussion board. We will not have a discussion board every week. I don't think that's fair, especially since you have a research project. For example, on a week when we have an exam, and again, there are 4 different exams, so therefore 4 different weeks we'll have an exam. I will not assign a discussion board, but on other weeks I might. So we do have some discussion boards. In fact, you have a discussion board assigned right away for week number 1, so you should look at that assignment when you have an opportunity. I will have a couple of extra credit assignments for you as well. Those will be available to you. One will be available to you after exam number 1, and the other will be available to you after exam number 2. There will be no other extra credit assignments from that point on, but I do that because I always think, one, most of you have probably not had a course with me because I've only been teaching Psych 255 for about 3 years now. So you're not familiar with me in terms of my lecture style or how I do my exams. So I give you a little bit of a break by giving you the opportunity to do an extra credit assignment. It's a video analysis for just a few more extra points if you want, completely voluntary. And I usually believe that by the time you get to exam number 3 that you've really figured things out and you're probably doing pretty well, overall in the course by that point. As I said, I will have some Zoom meetings, really info sessions, Q&As, call them what you will. Again, they're not for lecture. I show up and I say, hey, what are your questions? And we'll talk through things. But again, there's no lecture happening. I do have, like I said, I have my background in human services is over 24 years. I've been in group private practice. I've worked for mental health clinics in different places. I've worked for the Department of Mental Health here in the Commonwealth. I've really enjoyed being able to be trained as a therapist. So you get that I think additional experience that I'll bring forward for you. In other words, not just working in human services, but also someone with more of a clinical background and experience with a lot of different, providing, helping a lot of different people, with a lot of different things that they're, mental health issues that they're living with. I also have a family history of mental illness, and I will, at different times, I'll reference some of those lived experiences that I have. But I also have had some of my own lived experience with mental illness as well. So I will be more than happy to reference that where appropriate during the course too. So again, you're not just getting an instructor that knows the material, but you're also getting somebody that has really more of the practical knowledge and then some lived experience at the same time. So again, I want you to be able to really feel and think, at the end of the semester, I want you to be able to say, hopefully, I really got something out of this and I learned something. That's why I teach, because I want other people, to have more knowledge, to be able to better navigate life and to understand the people that are around us and the people that we love and the people that we work with. Mental illness is a part of life, but also is mental health. So I'm a very big proponent of talking about how to prevent mental illness, but also how to treat mental illness and support the people who are living with a mental illness. And I also want to say, you will hear me reference during the semester, I also believe that there is too much stigma associated with mental illness. And I'll invite you to really challenge, some ideas or beliefs that you might have about mental illness. And I'm hoping that as a result of the course, the material that you're going to be introduced to, different perspectives, that you'll also see that your mind has been changed, perhaps for the better. So again, I'm very happy that we're in this course together, and this is just one of many videos to follow. As I said, I'm going to be doing one more video for you that'll be very specific to the syllabus. I did tell you I'd provide my contact information, so there is my email address and also my personal phone number as well. So you could call or text me on that. If you do call, that's fine. Please identify yourself by name and also the course. And the same thing with text, because there could be more than one student with your first name. For example, it's a large course. And it's just helpful for me to be able to respond and kind of know, put like a name to the, to the person. So anyway, what this also does, and this document incidentally is in Canvas. I almost said Blackboard because that was the old platform, which is now gone. And as I've said elsewhere in the course here, you'll see if you had Blackboard experience, that learning platform, you'll be in a better position, I think, with Canvas. But Canvas is something you can learn. I do have some things outlined for you as a to-do list for week number 1. For example, do the best you can to get a copy of, get that digital e-textbook for the course, and/or you can purchase a loose leaf or paperback version. That's probably best done through the publisher, but you can try the bookstore. You really should get into chapter 1 as soon as you can. You can skip an entire section which is specific to correlational research methods. That's a real tongue twister. I don't want you to worry about that material. I have lecture videos in there for you. They're closed captioned. I also have a chapter quiz in there for you that you'll need to complete. And I have a lot of other videos that are specific to the chapter 1 material. So sorry this video went a little long, but I think it's a good introduction for you. And again, glad we're here and looking forward to this time with you. Talk to you soon.